I am so excited to build these with you guys. So I just sprinkled my baking mat with a little bit of flour, like just a little pinch, all around. Got it coated on my hands. Okay, and you're gonna take your dough ball. If you have a rolling pin, so I roll it again. I like to keep these in a ball. Kind of moves the moisture around too. Keeps the dough soft. If you have a rolling pin, grab it. Ooh, that's a mom reflex right there, you guys. If you have a rolling pin, roll it out. If you don't, okay, we're gonna press all the bubbles out. The one thing I missed from the pizza place I used to work at in Beaverton was we had this metal plate, and you would press the dough into it, and you press it all the way around the edge, then you flip it over, and it already have a ring for the crust. So I kind of did that right here. I pinched there, keeping a lot of the dough in the center, okay, and creating this little ring. I'm going to press it back down and push the center towards the edge, turning or rotating the dough as I go. So it's a press and turn kind of motion going here. Make sure your hands still have just a little bit so that the dough doesn't stick to you. And then this part, I'm just letting gravity do the work and monitoring the thinness of my crust, because you don't want it to get too thin because then it can break in your hands. But I'm also not really messing with the center of my dough because that part usually gets thinnest first. Maybe this isn't the best thing to do, but any way that you can work gravity and not tear it is great. The beauty of the bread flour, the olive oil, I think just this recipe is that this creates a truly elastic dough, which is really hard to find when you're looking for pizza dough recipes. And the elastic dough is what prevents the holes from getting in your dough. Okay, so you can really manipulate and work with your pizza dough. Here becomes the fun part. Take the edges and then just put my fingers under it and toss it. Let's see if I can back up. This was just the coolest thing, okay? Obviously that's not that cool because it's not a huge pizza, but we're talking a 12-inch piece of dough. Maybe those slices were 16 inches. I think they're 16. They're like the size of the Costco doughs, right? And so you get this, and they made just the most beautiful elastic dough, and it would be hanging down to here. Then you take your edges, you toss it and catch it. It was at the mall in Beaverton, and so people would walk by and be like, whoa. So felt really cool. But that was probably the most fun job I had in high school and starting in college before I worked at Costco. So tossing pizza is like a pastime for me. So much fun. And then when you have friends over and do it and they see you're like, what are you doing? And to be honest, what you're doing is you're throwing a lot of flour around your kitchen, which isn't great either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and prep all the rest of the dough balls so you don't have to sit here for 10 minutes and just watch me toss dough. But have fun. Toss the dough. Be careful. All you need to do is monitor how thin your dough is getting. Okay? And again, just keep rotating it gently, monitoring. Do a couple of these flips. One more turn. Until you have all of your dough balls in 9-inch circles. Okay, so looks like about that. So about my logo. That might be a little bit wider, but good luck, guys. Have fun with it. Okay, our dough balls are ready and they've been spread out so that we're ready to top our pizzas. But real quick, I wanted to talk to you about different pizza sauces that you can use. So if you want to go inexpensive and quick, especially if you're hosting a party, you can get one of these squeeze bottle ones and just go and everyone can put on as much sauce as they want, okay? And this is good for a very long time. This will be good till next Christmas. If you want to do something for just 2 people or these smaller pizzas, because these are just 9-inch pizzas, You could go with the Classico, so just a small jar. If I'm making 2 large pizzas, which is normally what I do, when I'm not doing a cooking segment, I go with a bigger jar. This Classico Reserva is my favorite. I think it has the most authentic taste for pizza. If you know of a different sauce that's better, leave it in the comments below and we'll try that next time. Okay, friends, for the purpose of the calzones, which I told you I'm not going to do calzones, but I was going to do the mixture anyway and try it on a couple of my pizzas. I've taken like 3 stacks of this, came out to about half of the bag of pepperoni that we had, and because it's calzone, I want these diced up. And I actually, even when I make my regular pizzas, I also like them diced up. I don't like the big rounds unless they're the hearty pepperoni. So just take a little knife here. Depends how you like your crust. If you want thin crust, then this is the time when you lay it out on the pan to kind of give it one last stretch. Plus, it allows you to make a really pretty round pie. Now, here's your next tip. This big ladle works best too when you're doing a bigger pie, but it can still work for this little one. So, you can take a little scoop of your sauce. On a full pie, I think we used 12 ounces when I was working in the pizza shop. So I just did about half that ladle, and then you're just going to use the ladle and go in a circular motion from the middle of the pie, working your way out, leaving a little bit of room for your crust, depending on how you like it. But the reason we start from the middle and press out is because you really don't need all that sauce in that middle bite, because everything is going through, with gravity, going to go to the middle anyway. show you husband's pie. So this is our traditional pie. Oh, and there goes that one, running away. That one back. And then here's the calzone one. It doesn't look too bad. And our timer went off for our calzones, but they're not done yet. They're close. Alexa, set a timer for 5 minutes. Alexa, set a timer for 3 minutes. We'll do that. And then hopefully I'll have some really yummy pies for you guys.